Yo guys, hello and welcome to episode 2 of my Red Bull Academy Career Mode on F126. Now, if you did miss the first episode out in Australia where we explain the premise of the series and all that good stuff, and go check that out before this one. But yeah guys, round 1 in Australia, we got off to an amazing start, finishing P5 in the Australian Grand Prix on our debut with the Racing Bulls team, managing to outperform the other 3 Red Bull drivers on the grid. But yeah, as I want to keep these episodes under 20 minutes, we're going to jump straight into SQ1 and the final lap of the first session. We're going to come across the line and get P14, so we are making it through into SQ2. And yeah, sprint weekend, so this video might be a little bit jumpy, but I had to get nearly 2 hours worth of footage into 20 minutes. And yeah, SQ2, we managed to get P13, so we will be lining up on 13th on the grid. So yeah, good start to this Chinese Grand Prix weekend.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Antonelli, Russell, Max Verstappen and Leclerc, Hamilton, Hadjar, Lindblad and Ollie Behrman, Albon, Hulkenberg, Richards and Colapinto, Perez, Gasly, Carlos Sainz and Esteban Ocon, Bottas, Alonso, Bortoletto and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close.
So a really good qualifying session, especially for our teammate Arvid Lindblad, who out-qualifies us for the sprint race here in China. We're going to go on the mediums for this sprint race. Let's get straight into it. So we got 5 red lights for the sprint race here in China. And it's lights out and away we go. We get a decent run off the line. Everyone around us on mediums here for the sprint race. We're going to go to the outside, just behind our teammate Arvid Lindblad at the beginning. Not going to be making too many aggressive moves in the early stage of this race. We're going to try and settle in and pick our moments in this one. A little bit squirmy off the exit of the long left-hander there, and looking a bit vulnerable to Nico Hulkenberg there, but we are going to slide up the inside of Alex Albon into turn 3. And yeah, decent start. Managed to gain a few positions already. Lindblad still in P9, so really good start from him as well. But yeah, moving on to the end of the first lap, we're going to have a little look down the outside of Ollie Behrman into the hairpin, and we get the move done. Behind our teammate now, Arvid Lindblad, we're going to be looking to get a move on him as soon as possible, show him who's boss in this team. But yeah, I'm recording this episode a few hours before the first episode is uploaded, so I hope you're all enjoying this so far, guys, this series, as Oscar Piastri retires from the sprint race. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below if this kind of video is what you want to see on the channel. Just something like a little yes or no in the comments. It gives me an idea of what you guys want more, either this or the My Team, shorter form, longer form content, as we are finally going to go for it on our teammate here, Arvid Lindblad, down the outside into the hairpin. We go deep on the brakes, hold it around the outside, and we're going to get the superior traction on our teammate. So good move there from us up into P8 and a point so far in this sprint race. Really good start. But yeah, just going back quickly, if you could leave some feedback, that'd be amazing. Whether it's positive, negative, anything like that, it helps me grow. We are a new channel here, and yeah, just past 200 subs I think yesterday, so thank you all so much for the guys that have subscribed, liked, viewed the videos already, and girls of course. But yeah, thank you all so much. As we go into turn 3, and Isaac Hadjar has actually lost the rear end on lap 4 and there's an almighty car park, and that is a red flag. Second one of the season already in this career mode. Race engineer wants us to go on the softs. We're going to go back on the mediums because the softs are pretty useless around here. So for the second time in the sprint race, it's lights out and away we go from P7 on the grid. Quickly P8 after Hadjar gets us back, but we're going to hang it round the outside again. Hamilton in the Ferrari just ahead. We're going to sneak up the outside, which turns into the inside for the next corner. Trying not to run into the back of Antonelli as he gets a poor exit. We get a bit of a squirmy exit as well, and Antonelli repasses us. Hamilton also looking up the inside. He's going to stick his nose up there as we have to avoid the Mercedes man ahead of us. But we managed to hold the position on Lewis there. Straight on the boost, and we managed to stick it up the inside of Antonelli, but he holds it back. P6 still in this race. Really good position. It's probably best we don't fight with the Mercedes and try and stick with the guys ahead. Only 4 laps left in this race, but moving on to the start of lap 8 now. We are still with Antonelli ahead. He's dropped off slightly from Russell ahead of him, and his engine blows up into turn 1, and we don't know which way he's going. We have to undercut him to the inside. But yeah, luckily that is another position for us, and we did not make any contact, thankfully. But yeah, no safety car, no virtual safety car, no red flag for that, so very good and uninterrupted. Isaac Hadjar now behind us in the Red Bull. Obviously we want his seat for next year, but going on to halfway through lap 9, we ride over the inside curb and it sends us into a half spin, luckily to keep it out of the wall. And yeah, our good work in this race has gone to absolute, little replay on screen. Luckily, Hadjar did not collect us there. Could have meant big damage for him, but yeah, really not ideal in this sprint race. Luckily, it's not tomorrow because that would be major points for myself and the team lost there. Instead, it's just a few points today, but we're going to do our best to try and get back into this race as Ocon is in our slipstream behind. Colapinto and Sainz now ahead of us. And yeah, losing a good 8 positions as we nearly run into the back of Colapinto there as we lock up into the hairpin. Ocon gives it a look up the inside, but we hold the position yet again. And yeah, a bit of an erratic last lap there, but we're going to move on to the final lap and the back straight, and we're going to try and go for it on Franco. We're dumping absolutely everything to try and get him. We're going to lunge it up the inside, Daniel Ricciardo-esque. We slide through, he gets the switch back, a little bit of contact, front right to left rear, but we're going to hang it up the inside of the final corner. We're going to take a track limits warning there. Luckily, no illegal overtake, but we get Colapinto over the line.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it
No
home.
points in the sprint, but yeah, it's only the sprint, so do not need to worry too much. And yeah, a little replay there, no contact, which is quite lucky, bit erratic from me, but we get the move done in the end, so all good there. And yeah, quite close over the line actually, only a few hundredths of a second between us in this Grand Prix, but Arvid Lindblad actually picking up P7 and 2 championship points for himself and the team, so still a good result for the Racing Bull boys. And yeah, let's move straight into qualifying. Straight into the end of Q1 now, and we are a good 3/4 of a second up on our banker lap, and we're going to come across the line to pick up P16, so just sneaking through into Q2. This is definitely not my favourite track on the calendar, so just getting through, I'm happy with that, just behind our teammate as well. So hoping for a better Q2. But yeah, gonna come across the line. And that is last on our banker lap, but our final lap now, and we get a little bit of traffic towards the final corner. Nico Hulkenberg gets out the way, fortunately. Nearly a second up, 3/4 of a second, and we're going to come across the line. And it's going to be P15 on the grid for the main race here in China. Out-qualified by our teammate Arvid Lindblad, but I'm not too worried in this one just yet. Plenty can happen in the main race.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Leclerc, Isaac Hadjar, and Hamilton. Sainz, Colapinto, Hulkenberg, and Fernando Alonso. Lindblad, Albon, Richards, and Ocon. Behrman, Gasly, Valtteri Bottas, and Gabriel Bortoleto. Perez, Stroll, Piastri, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So promoted up to P13 in the Chinese Grand Prix due to Antonelli and Piastri blowing up in the sprint race. So yeah, tyre wear's going to be an issue around here. Going to be a two-stopper, starting on the mediums, going to the hards, finishing on the softs. Hopefully we can have a good finish to this race. But for the third time this weekend, it's going to be lights out. And away we go on the medium tyres, everyone else on the hards by the looks of it. We instantly jump our teammate and a few others down the inside this time. Not going to send it too much on the AI. But yeah, we're going to tuck him behind Fernando, look to the outside of him, get some decent traction, but Fernando's going to have the drive on the mediums as well. Gets out of the corner nicely, and that is P10 for us. So already in the points, we're going to lunge it down the inside of the Aston Martin. Really good cutting the curb a little bit there, but no worries. Colapinto actually on the softs ahead of us. I'm giving this curb a wide breadth after the sprint race. But yeah, P9 in this one so far. Good start. Just need to see if we can keep up with the really fast Williams on this year's game update DLC, but we're going to lose the back end, getting on the curb and the boost at the same time, and straight back down to P11. Becoming a bit of a bottle job here, but it's just lack of skill at the end of the day. But coming on to the end of lap 4, start of lap 5, we've managed to keep up with Albon and Alonso ahead. We're going to get the boost on down towards turn 1. We're going to make it 3 wide to the inside. We both overtake Albon. And yeah, we're going to hang it up the inside of Alonso. He goes quite deep, but the inside line is superior in that corner, and we're going to take the position back up to P9, so not too bad. Squirmy exit again from turn 2. But yeah, moving on to the start of lap 9 now. And Sainz, Hadjar are ahead of us. A little bit of a way up the road as we go deep, and Albon manages to get through. Not good. The tyre wear at this point is really not ideal. So we'll be looking to box off these tyres as soon as possible. And we do at the end of lap 9, hoping for a decent stop, as always, from the Racing Bulls boys. .4 seconds, pretty standard. Decent stop. A few laps earlier than the other drivers, so we are going to come out pretty much last in this Grand Prix. Only Gasly behind, that either got damaged earlier in the race or maybe actually stopped the lap before us, but a little bit dodgy out the pit lane, but we managed to hold the former Red Bull man off. Yeah, Lance Stroll next up the road. And halfway through lap 11, we're actually on the back of Franco Colapinto, as other people have boxed in this race. But yeah, Colapinto holds it down the inside there, but we managed to stick the move nicely. And behind Ollie Behrman now, also on the hard tyres. So yeah, jumping through this race quite quickly, obviously cutting out the bits that just aren't really necessary. But we're going to hold it up the inside of the long right-hander. Very rare that I make an overtake around there, and we get the move done on the Hassman. Obviously, tyres not as good as ours. Try and break the slipstream down into the hairpin, burning the battery. Behrman's going to resend it on us, but we're going to brake really late, get the car stopped, and it's Lance Stroll up ahead again. And yeah, end of lap 14, start lap 15 on the back of Bortoleto. A few others have obviously pit, so we are back into P9, which will become P7 into turn 1. So yeah, really good second stint so far in this race. We've managed to undercut a few people. And yeah, good signs, showing promising signs. And towards the end of lap 18, Carlos Sainz on the back of us now. Piastri as well should be arriving anytime soon as we go deep into the hairpin yet again, getting our braking all wrong. Sainz gets through, but we're going to send it back as he Lycos into the final corner. We get the overtake for the next lap, so that has worked out quite well for us. P6 again in this race. But yeah, the braking has become a bit of a problem. This car is just not as good on the brakes as others, as we demonstrate yet again there. Going into turn 3, Sainz gets us back at the start of lap 20. So yeah, a little bit frustrating, but still a good result nonetheless. As we move towards the end of lap 21, Esteban Ocon retires from the race. Just an engine blowout again. Nothing too major.
Okay, we can take you
no
this
safety
lap.
car, nothing like that. And we are going to box at the end of that lap and go onto the soft tyres for a last dash to the line. We're going to drop out of the top 10 here, but surely with the soft tyres we'll be able to make a few positions back up in this race. Another good stop from the boys, 2.4 seconds. Cannot complain with that one. But yeah, by the looks of it, we are going to come out in P12. Can we make it in front of Fernando? Yes, we can. He goes around the outside, but the inside line is superior. Dipping a wheel on the grass as well, but not a problem. Now moving on to lap 28, the final lap of the Grand Prix. And we have gained up to Gabriel Bortoleto, P11. Currently in this race. We have one lap to try and get the last championship point in this Chinese Grand Prix, but we do not manage to do it. We get close, maybe one more lap and we would have done it. The tyres, even after only a few laps, absolutely screaming, but coming through the final corner, we're going to lose the back end on the curb yet again. Lucky not to end up in the wall. But that is going to be no points for us in this race.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
So Lando Norris wins the Chinese Grand Prix for McLaren. And we unfortunately finish outside the points at the second round of the season. Obviously, after a good start in Australia, a little bit back down to earth here in China, but like I said, not the best track for me. But yeah, Verstappen P2, Leclerc P3. We did finish ahead of our teammate, only 2 places, but we have still beaten him there. Hadjar in P7. So yeah, definitely going to have to improve a little bit if we want his seat next season, which is, of course, the aim for this first season, to try and dislodge him and progress ourselves so we can fight the 4 times world champion. But yeah, that is going to be all from me, guys. A little bit jumpy this episode because it was a sprint weekend. Hopefully that will change at round 3 in Japan. So yeah, please join me for that. And yeah, thank you all so much again, guys, for the support on the channel. If you want to show a bit more support, like, subscribe. And yeah, thank you all so much. Have a good evening. Cheers.